University of Evansville football is brought to you in part by your local Snapper and Echo dealers and by Evansville Dodge, 1730 West Franklin.
Halftime at at Central Stadium. Here's the big difference. Jay Barnett, this in the second quarter action. Barnett with the reception, able to dance down the sidelines, cut it back across the middle, and kept his footing in the atrocious field conditions down there, gentlemen.
Well, I'll tell you, like I said earlier, Bill, what was excellent, what Jay did here was the fact that he kept good balance. He kept the feet apart, and in a field like this, you better do it. If not, you know what'll happen, Scott.
Well, he's only caught 2 passes, but the 2 passes that he has caught are both for big yardage, and they've been very important in big plays for the Aces.
The sun's starting to break here this afternoon.
You know, Bill, this ball game is pretty much going like Randy Rogers predicted it would be. For example, the Greyhounds are not a very good passing ball club, as you can see on stats. They have not completed a pass, and they're a big ball club without a whole lot of outside speed, and consequently, our defense has worked real well in containing them, and I think that those 2 touchdowns we have, touchdown and extra and field goal, it really looks good at this time, Scott.
Well, I tell you, the Aces are definitely in the driver's seat if they continue to play defensively the way they did in the first half. Naturally, the field conditions here are just atrocious, as you can tell by just looking at the players' uniforms and looking at the field itself. And if the Aces can continue to play with the defensive tempo that they did in the first half, I think the 10 points may look very secure.
Quarterbacking situation. Excuse
this
me,
fella, Bill, that's playing quarterback right now, who took over for the Greyhounds, Dave Varmore, he played for Portland, and Scott Marsh told me that he played against him in the North-South All-Star game this summer.
Georgia Ole Miss tied at 10 in the second quarter. Here, Evansville will receive, and Indiana Central will kick off. West Virginia and 19th ranked Boston College tied at 3 in the second quarter. Uh-oh, look at that, Mr. Studwell.
Well, I tell you what, Scott Marsh kind of slipped out of here, too, before we had a chance to make a little wager on the game, and I think he was lucky.
Friendly wager, friendly.
Yes, very friendly.
Michigan leads Michigan State 21-3 in the third quarter. Some of the UE faithful here this afternoon. It's not all that bad, actually, you know, when you consider that, boy, it was Monsoon City out here about 15 minutes before kickoff. Bill Weber, along with Don Watson, Scott Studwell visiting us while he's on hiatus from the National Football League.
Hiatus, is that anything like on strike?
Scott, we got some time. We can get into this as the second half progresses. Do all the players realize what's going on? I mean, did they know what's going on at the bargaining table? Do you ever hear from Ed Garvey, or is he a ghost-like figure, or how does that come about?
Well, we pretty much keep in touch through our player reps. We have a weekly meeting, usually on Tuesdays, as a team to discuss what progress has been made, if any, and obviously there has not been much made. But we stay in touch through our player rep and through really what we hear in the media.
We'll expound on that as the afternoon goes on. Marvin Gladney, and this is Donnie Austin. Fumbles it, tries to fall on it, and then gets a little help from some of his ace friends back there. Looks like Dave Farnball fell on the ball. Boy, he found, look what I got. Defensive back comes up with the football, and the Aces will start on offense from about their own 15-yard line.
I think the field important right now at this stage of the game is going to be so important in this second half, and hopefully because of that fumble, it won't come back to haunt the Aces.
That's right, 15-yard line. We don't want any fumbles in this area.
It is Pavic at quarterback. Mick Schnell is the up back. Now they go to the split. Gray is back there with Schnell. Pavic to throw. Intended for Barnett. Was run into by Kennedy, but no call.
That's a very dangerous route to run down there on their own 15-yard line, that quick out pattern. If he steps in front of him and makes a play like that, it's 6 points for Indiana Central.
That quarterback's definitely got to throw that ball over the top. Here you see it again. And like Scott said, if that defensive back steps in and if it's underthrown at all, You've seen it happen too many times.
We saw it
Not like
earlier
me.
today.
I don't like that pattern.
Saw that earlier today. Again, Schnell and Gray behind Pavick. This is Mick Schnell.
Of course, Scott, if that defensive back overcommits himself, you throw it and complete it, then you go down the sideline.
Well, this is true. It works both ways.
Mick Schnell, of course, missed a couple of games with stretched knee ligaments.
This is a kind of game, though, we need Mick with the power and the strength that he has.
We need this kid right here, Bubby Lewis.
Yeah, we could use Bubby today.
I'm sure he'd rather be down there, too. The Aces will go from the shotgun on 3rd and 8. Slot right. Pavick with the long count. Good snap. Now looking, got plenty of time. Going for Staves, and he couldn't hang on. Troy Staves had lots of company. John Kennedy and Kurt Hughes were both back there. A couple of safeties on the Central defense. Indiana Central holds. Evansville will kick it away as you look at it again.
Here you see it. It's just a down-out pattern for Staves. It's a little bit high, Scott. Consequently, it gives the defensive people almost the same opportunity that the offensive people have. But
well, the safety had a lot of time to get over there and get in on that play and help their cornerback out on their coverage.
Balot will kick. Mills is one deep back. And Mills, 25 with the ball. To the 45, to the 50. Cuts it to the right, to the 45, to the 40. And again, Indiana Central with the fine special team effort will start up with excellent field position here in the second half at the Evansville 40-yard line.
I tell you, up to this point, I think the punt return team for Indiana Central has been their best offensive weapon so far today.
Last week, their punter was their best offensive weapon, according to their sports information director. He had a fine game. So special teams obviously must be something Bill Bless emphasizes.
Coach Rogers may want to look at that coverage this week. In fact, I imagine they will put some time in it.
Bormer, the freshman, on the give to Scarpone. Across the 35. It'll be a 2nd and 5 situation for Indiana Central. Dave Fawnbaugh looking over to the sidelines for instructions from the coaches as the Greyhounds break the huddle, move to the line of scrimmage. Scarpone and McKinley shift to a split pro set. Bormer runs the option, fumble! Mark Hoffman covers. Aces have it. Again, the turnover, 4th of the afternoon for Indiana Central. And as they did in the first half, Evansville has the first break here in the second half.
This looked like it might have slipped out of the quarterback's hand when he getting ready to make the pitch here. Take a look. He was hit. Yes, I think that hit had something to do with it. Number 31 of the Aces.
Greg Grulich made a great defensive play on the quarterback there, although they did leave the option back open, but he didn't even have time to get him the ball. And once again, the Aces defense comes up with a big turnover.
Again, Pavick returns to the controls with a slot right. McCall to the top of your screen. Jay Barnett to the bottom. In the I formation is Schnell and Gray. Pavick will throw on 1st and 10. Over the middle, tipped by Tim Motzinger, and falls aimlessly to the ground, and the Aces will pick it up 2nd and 10. Ralph Pavick took over after John Verdasco suffered a knee injury. Here you watch Motzinger right in the middle of your screen, tip the ball away, intended for McCall, who had lined up wide right. Second and 10, just underway, second half. Bill Weber along with Scott Studwell and Don Watson. Aces lead Indiana Central 10-7. Still Schnell and Gray back there. And Pavick is the quarterback. Looking, throwing. Caught by Staves at the 40 to the 36.
You know, Scott, the thing I like about the Staves fella, he seems to know he's got some power after he catches the football.
Well, he seems to know what to do with the football when he catches it. No question about that. That was just a great play. It was an excellent route by the tight end, and it was a nice throw, too, by Pavick.
Tom Collins and John Kennedy in there on the stop. Big gain for the Aces. to the 37-yard line of Indiana Central. First and 10, 12:50 to go in the third quarter. Aces lead it 10-7. Slot right. Grant Gray for a couple.
I like that formation a while ago, Scott, when the Greyhounds were in a four-man front. They drop a tackle back off the yard, about a yard and a half off the defensive line, and then they stunt with him to the outside and bring the end down.
What they've been doing is running what we would call a twist with the defensive end and defensive tackle, and really all they do is switch assignments. The end comes inside and the tackle comes around. It's a good stunt. It's an excellent pass rush stunt.
Give Gray 3,
Forces
second
that
and
halfback to block on that big tackle on the stunt.
It certainly does. It always will almost inevitably eliminate a receiver.
Havoc's going to have to swallow this one. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Mark Blett in there applying pressure and bringing him down.
He had some territory, though, to manipulate in. Had Bless not been in the way, I mean, I think the fullback was out trying to block on him, and consequently didn't do. He's a tough kid. He's a big, strong boy. Consequently, he fought to block off and came back in, but he had not been there. Pavic had some running room.
Again, the Aces looking to work on a young Indiana Central secondary. Sophomores, freshmen, only one or two seniors back there. This is 3rd and 7. Staves gets a block from the official and gets down near the 30. That'll be shy of the first down. Kurt Hughes, the sophomore out of Covington, on the stop.
I think before the ball game, we should have drawn that play up for the official. He wasn't too effective.
They tend to get in the way every once in a while.
Looky here.
But they're only human, right, Don?
They have back problem. Your defensive backs are all the same. The official's always in the way. Here, look at this. Isolation on the official. Great camera work. Aaron Thomas and Paul Jordan up high. Rick Notter, Bruce Wiley running our field cameras this afternoon under what are worse than terrible conditions. Doing a fine job. Terry Ballot will kick it away. No one is back deep. Poor punt. Ballot's got some time. Now kicks it up in the air. Bounces at the 1 and into the end zone. And you can catch those punts. And Evansville not back there to do it, so it'll come out to the 20. Net kick of about 10 yards for Ballot, which is tough to explain to the guys when you go back to the sidelines. But anyway, Indiana Central will take over. 10:20 to go in the quarter. 10-7. Evansville leads Indiana Central. I said it's a net gain, net 10-yard punt. You kick it into the end zone. They only move the ball 10 yards. Right. Former on the give. This is McMitchell to the 25-yard line. Dave Farnball and Greg Grulich on the stop.
He's the one fella, Bill, that we don't want to let get past. He's one of the skill people that they have that does have some speed, and I think he might make a foot race out of it for you if you could get him through that secondary.
Picks up 5, 2nd and 5 situation for Indiana Central. Now it is McMitchell and Mills in the backfield. This is McMitchell again, up near across the 30 for Indiana Central first down. Dave Farnball in on the stop. Boy, he's having a heck of a season considering he did not start today. Out of Fort Wayne Twanger, a junior, 5'11", 210, will give up his senior year of eligibility to go to law school. Not Randy Rogers' favorite decision, but still.
I imagine he would like to have him around another year, don't you?
First and 10.
They seem to have found something up there. It's moving a little bit, don't you think, Scott?
Well,
they're moving the ball pretty well on the ground.
They look good this series. They keep employing that 2 tight end offense that they're using for their rundown offense, and the Aces are going to have to gather themselves here and start making some plays. They want to keep the Greyhounds down in their end of the field.
Mills got 5. It's 2nd and 5. We seeing the dive plays you were diagramming for me, Coach?
Seen a lot of them. Here, that's counter dive right there.
That's McMitchell, wrapped up by a host of folks. They fallen ball again in there, I believe. Mike Conroy. Tim Wolf was up there too, from his safety position. Got 3. It'll be a 3rd down and 2 for Indiana Central, trailing by a field goal with 8:13 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Mike Conroy, who's got number 54, has 10 tackles and 2 sacks against St. Joe. He's a good one.
Had a fine week last week. Mills and McMitchell. This is Mills, tries the left side, and he's got a 1st down. So Indiana Central obviously has found something, a weakness in the Evansville defensive line that they can attack.
Conroy in on that tackle.
Here it is again.
They're running to the weak side, Scott.
Well, I hope it isn't a case of just Evansville's defense wearing down a little bit. I know they're outmatched size-wise. They just need a couple big plays here. If they can get a big play on this 1st down or 2nd down, I think they can find their tempo again.
There's one that helps a little bit, number 59. Dave Williams helped us our situation there.
Well, I think what the Aces have to do defensively is to force Indiana Central to have to throw the football. They accomplished that in the 1st half, and because of that, they gained absolutely no yardage whatsoever throwing the ball, and they've got to put them in the 2nd and 3rd and long situations.
Mike Schultz providing some help on the tackle. 2nd and 10. The back split behind Former. This is Mills, who only gets a couple. So a couple of good plays by the Evansville defensive line. And Indiana Central will have some thinking to do. They'll have the 2nd and about, call it 8 situation.
Mike Conroy coming out of the ball game seems to be favoring his right shoulder. Sometimes those things they'll get pinched,
yes,
right, Scott, and you think it's going to fall off, and eventually they'll come back. Let's hope that's not.
It looks like he might have pinched a nerve in his neck or something, but it's nothing real serious and something I'm sure it won't keep him out of the ball game.
3rd and 7. Former pulls it down and goes nowhere.
That was interesting. They had that wide out to the left, Scott. I don't know whether you saw it or not, and they were going to hit him on a look-in pattern. And our defensive back on that side came up and forced him. The quarterback went up. He had no place to go with the ball. Here you can see he comes up, and about that time, our defensive back on the outside made the stop. He had no place to go. He had to run the ball. Consequently, they are in a position now that they're going to have to kick.
Kiza and Tom Isaacs are back to receive the Indiana Central punt from Mike Heyman. Blocked. They blocked it again. It was squiveled out of bounds on the far sideline, and U of B is in excellent shape. 1st and 10 from the Indiana Central 48.
It's been very obvious up to this point that the kicking teams have played a very important role in this game. The fumble recovery off the kickoff, now the block punt. They also made a big 4th down play on another punt that Indiana Central tried.
See if we can see who it
Play
is.
the man who blocked it came from the middle, which usually that's where you're going to get it. But I don't think we can pick up that.
It looked like number 20. I think it might have been number 20, Neil Tucker.
Neil
I'm not
Tucker.
exactly sure, but I think that's who it was.
1st and 10 for the Aces. This is Donnie Austin trying the left side. Good pursuit and a big loss.
Gary McCall's out here came back in motion, trying to block back on a linebacker or anyone that shows. He's not too big a fella. Consequently, they kind of ran over him. I guess Gary wouldn't want him to run that play too many times. You think, Scott?
Well, I think that's there's something they're going to have to put back in the back of the playbook for now, and worry about that one next week.
As big as they are, anyway.
Harry Sikora saw that one coming. Big loss for the Aces. 8-yard loss. 2nd down and 18 for Pavic. Collins, the only man in the backfield. Pavick gives to Collins, who gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is all. Paul Logan made the stop.
Give a little credit to the Bless fella. He also got that ankle. He's a fine player.
He's made a lot of big plays for the Greyhounds so far this afternoon. He's been very impressive out there today.
U of V has had several big plays offensively. They could use one here with a third down 19 situation with 4:19 to go in the third quarter. Pavick will go from the shotgun. Again, Collins, a lone man with Pavick in the backfield. 3 receivers to the right side. Bad snap. Pavick picks it up, looking under pressure, throws across the middle, staves at the 50. Well shy of the first down, did not even return to the original line of scrimmage, and the Aces will be forced to kick it away.
It's a big play here. You know, you get one of these blocked and you put your opponent in an excellent field position.
Well, it's unfortunate the Aces couldn't capitalize on that big play by the punt team, but they've still got Indiana Central in a hole if they get off a good punt here. And like we said before and been saying all day, the field position is so important in a game like this when the conditions are this poor.
Mills and Horvath await the kick. This is Mills. Straight up the middle this time. Another big hole to the 30, 35, 40, near midfield. Spectacular returns by Indiana Central, and they'll be in dandy shape here in the third quarter. Alabama, Penn State still going on in Birmingham this afternoon. Let's go to Chris Treston for an NCAA football update.
Bill, it's too early to bury a Penn State team with Joe Paterno at the helm, but right now it looks bad for the men from College Park. 21-7, and here's how it happened. The Tide in front. Lenny Patrick goes into the end zone for 15 yards. The kick was good, and Alabama, Bear Bryant's team, up 21-7. And an update on the baseball game. Milwaukee and California are playing now. No score, bottom of the first.
Okay, CT, here it's 10-7 Aces on top of Indiana Central. Greyhounds first and 10 from their own 47. Fine run. Looked like Mills. Check it as Scarpone. Greg Scarpone on the carry. Boy, their punt returns are just fabulous.
Well, I tell you, I think a lot of it has to do with the field conditions, the fact that the people coming down covering cannot establish any kind of footing at all. And although it's slippery and wet and muddy on both sides, it's been extremely detrimental as far as the Aces punt team is concerned.
McKinley and Scarpone are the running backs behind Dave Vormer with 2:37 to go in the third quarter, and Evansville leading 10-7. Homecoming at Central Stadium. Hope you're enjoying it. Vormer, oh, great block, but he got him. Dave Williams, the co-captain.
Well, there's another example of the big plays that the Aces defense have been coming up with all day long. A great play there by Dave Williams on that sack.
The senior out of Hammond. Brings up a 3rd and 14 situation. Indiana Central 1 for 6 through the air. Net gain, unofficially, zilch. Vormer needs big yardage here. Looking, dumps it off, and nobody could hang on. Going for Scarpone on the far sideline, and the wet ball slips through.
That was a screen play that time by the Greyhounds, which was read very well by the Aces defense. They didn't have a chance.
There's an interesting graphic. ICU outscored 78-35 in the first 4 games. In a minute here, we'll show you interesting statistics on how the Aces fare in fourth quarter activity. But first, let's get the punt. Heyman will kick it away. And again, it's Kiza and Isaacs deep. This one is not blocked. Kiza has it. Sidesteps one tackler, gets to the 25. And that's all, folks.
That was a nice play, but the first man down, he got blocked and then got back up and got in on the stop. You know, Bill, I know that Coach Rogers was quite concerned about this ball game because they had played Northwood and were beaten 20-7. They'd played Hillsdale 24-7, as we said earlier. But then you keep thinking, is my ball club as good as Northwood, Hillsdale is as good as Ashland, which is in our conference. So consequently, these are the things that, as coaches, you really get concerned about.
The Aces on first down. They have not gained a yard on first down in this half. 1:25 to go in the third quarter. Evansville does lead by a field goal, 10-7. Pavick to throw, as you might have guessed. Lofts it up there. Great move by Barnett to swing free. Nice catch along the sidelines.
I'm a little reluctant at times on that kind of pass. Of course, if you're used to doing it, you've got that kind of confidence, I guess you throw it.
Well, I think what the Greyhounds were in a double zone coverage that time where the safeties come over the top and are supposed to help the corners on anything deep. And it was an excellent catch by Barnett, another big play by him. And it was a pretty good throw by Pavick, too. He had to get it up and over the corner and just place it in there between the corner and the safety.
High move by Barnett to dance away from his defender. Picks up a first down, 1st and 10 for Evansville. Somewhere around the 40 mud line. Pavick again with one lone setback. Long count. This is Andre Collins. Gets away from one tackler. Out to the 44. Pick up of 4 yards.
You know, I talked to Coach Rogers, Bill, pardon me, and the discipline that they have on their passing game, they're greatly concerned. Here you see, this fellow's a good runner, Bubby. I agree with you. He's got good balance, and he's one of those folks that he puts a hand on you.
What did you say his main strength was?
Who?
His low center of gravity. Well, that's one of those coaching cliche
Don't
terms.
talk about people like that.
Looks like a miniature Earl Campbell.
2nd and 7. They give Collins 3. Austin in motion to the far side. Pavick looks for a receiver. Stage was there, picked off. Tom Collins, the freshman, the 6'3", 180-pound quarterback, makes the interception, and the Aces have turned it over.
I'd like to see that. Scott, was he down when he caught the ball? Let's take a look at
What had happened, Don, I think, is he tipped the ball initially, and then he caught it on the rebound, and his knee touched down.
Yeah, his knee
there.
touched. All right, but when he got into whether his knee had touched, and consequently, I was wondering why he didn't continue to run the ball, but his knee was down. Well, we played most of the game, Bill, right here in the middle of the field.
We sure have. And you can tell it, too, can't you, by the middle of the field. Collins, interception at the 45-yard line, while Indiana Central sets up 1st and 10. Mills and McMitchell. This is Mills. Big hole to the Evansville 45-yard line.
That was a dive. I think that was just a straight-ahead play.
Mark Hoffman on the stop. And Mills limps off.
There you see it.
This should be the last play of the third quarter, if we indeed get it off. 10 seconds left in the quarter. Horvath looks like he's in no hurry to get it off, but he didn't. They snapped the ball, but time had expired. Third quarter is over. No scoring in it, so the Evansville Purple Aces still have a 10-7 lead over Indiana Central on homecoming Saturday. We'll be back.
The FM High Fidelity Audio Video Show is bigger and better than ever. 3 days only, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at the Owensboro Sports Center. Huge discounts on the top names in electronics. Take home Pioneer receivers from only $149. Pioneer turntables, $77. Tape decks, $138. You won't believe the selection. You won't believe the discounts at the 1982 FM High Fidelity Audio Video Show. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at the Owensboro Sports Center.
Hey, Tri-State, it's true. You can buy a new Chevy car truck for what I paid for it. Or, it's true. You can get up to $2,000 over cash value for your trade-in. Plus, and get this, it's true. You can get 12.5% interest rate on any new Chevrolet in stock, including demos. Only at Cook's Chevyland. But hurry, offer ends October the 11th. I mean it when I say, we will sell you a Chevrolet.
Indiana Central with a 1st and 10 at the University of Evansville 45-yard line as we begin the fourth quarter of play at Central Stadium. Bill Weber along with Don Watson and Scott Studwell. Another big hole on the left side. Looked like it might have been Scarpone. Tough to tell. It is Greg Scarpone on the carry. Pickup of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4 for ICU. There's a stat that'll make coaches wonder. Aces have been outscored 42-14 in the 4th quarter. They lead here by 3. 4th quarter obviously has not been Evansville's best quarter of football this season. This is McKinley. Absolutely nowhere to go. Looks like Mike Schultz led the charge, the junior from Wrights High School.
That's just straight ahead football, Bill, and consequently you've got to tighten up. They like to run to their backside, or what we used to call the weak side, better than they do the front side, because you saw what happened there, Scott. They jammed that up. Number 72 here, our defensive tackle, Mike Schultz. They may have an angle on him. They may have to move him over us a little bit.
I think they've been running some types of trap and influence blocking, which is confusing the Aces a little bit.
That was excellent.
Batted down by Mark Hoffman. The senior from Delphi got in there and knocked it away. Big play. That was a 3rd and 4. And now Indiana Central has some thinking to do on 4th down and 4 at the Evansville 37.
Well, there's a case of another excellent defensive effort by Mark Hoffman, and they seem to bend a little bit, but they never break.
Is that a cornerback blitz?
It certainly looked like it. I didn't really see it firsthand, but
he came back there. The beautiful thing is he had his hand up. When you get your hands up on defense, it's hard for those quarterbacks to throw. Here comes another. Ooh.
Heyman will punt. High snap, gets it away. That'll bounce at the 1 and go on in. So Evansville will get to set up 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line, leading 10-7. All the scoring came in the first half. After Indiana Central jumped out in front 7-0, the Aces rallied, got a field goal, and then a bang-bang play from Pavick to Staves. The flea flicker to Donnie Austin, who ran it in, and that's where we stand. 10-7, Evansville on top.
I think this is an important series for the Aces offensively, just to, if not for anything else, just to give their defense a rest. They've been playing exceptionally well all day and been playing very hard, and they do need a blow. And if not anything else, even if they don't get any points on the board, they've got to give them some time off the field.
Pavick out of the shotgun, throws to the man in motion. That's Grant Gray, falls incomplete. Time of possession in that 3rd quarter, pretty even. 7 minutes and 10 seconds for Evansville. Indiana Central, 7 minutes and 50 seconds.
It looks to me, Don, like Pavick is having a hard time getting a grip on that ball.
Yeah, it looks like he's laying it up flat on his hand and sort of side-arming it, but he's had some pretty good success with it. That time he, of course, underthrew the receiver.
Obviously brings up a 2nd and 10 situation. Brooks and Gray behind Pavick. That's Brooks up near the 25-yard line.
Here you see him. So see, he's got the ball up. As you see his release there, he doesn't have a real heavy grip on it. Consequently, sometimes that's the way you have to throw it when you got a muddy ball or a wet ball like that.
The Aces are 0 for 3 on 3rd down conversions in this half. This is 3rd and 5. Pavick drops back, flares it off, and hit immediately is Grant Gray. John Kennedy had that one diagnosed from the word go. And as Scott Studwell pointed out, a big series unable to materialize for U of E, and they will be forced to kick it away. And this one, you want to make sure you get the good snap. As you look at Gray, who makes the reception, and Kennedy coming up immediately.
I think the field position is becoming more and more important as the game progresses here, with only about 11 minutes left to play. The Aces punt team needs to make a big play here.
Mills and Horvath are deep for Indiana Central as Terry Ballot will kick it away. Low snap, but he gets it away. High spiral, fair catch signaled for by Horvath. And right at midfield, Indiana Central will take over with 11:58 to go in the game, trailing Evansville 10-7.
Well, the defense here, once again, Scott's got, they're back on the field. It's a very important thing, right at 50, right on the 50-yard line. It's a big series.
Well, there's no question about it. They keep going to the well, and they keep finding something extra. Hopefully they can do it for 11 more minutes.
The freshman quarterback, Dave Ballmer, has gone the whole way for Indiana Central. McMitchell up near the 47. Evansville leads Indiana Central, and now we've got a timeout on the field. Ralph Pavick has gone most of the way. Quarterback John Bernasco and Pavick have been alternating in the first half. Bernasco has seen no action here in the second half. Some of the fans that made it out.
I think it's a tribute to the Aces. The crowd really picked up with the way that things started like it was. You know, we had a torrential downpour here earlier.
That's mild.
But they went to the cars, and they evidently said, we're going to be here, and back they are.
Indiana Central doing well on first downs in this half.
Averaging 4.5 on first downs this half. That's a pretty good average on a first down situation.
Bill Van Alstyne tracking our stats this afternoon. Andrew not out to help you today? Is he home watching? Okay. He better be. 2nd and 7 for Indiana Central with 11:45 to go. Second man through. Looks like McKinley up near the first down marker. Scarpone, check it. Scarpone on the carry.
Looks like straight ahead blocking there, Scott.
Seems like they just
right
ran a very simple isolation play on the linebacker, and that's a very tough play for a linebacker to fill and take on that lead blocker and try and make the play on the back also.
ICU 1 for 4 in the second half on third down conversion attempts. This is a 3rd and 1 situation. Second man through, first down and insurance. Boy, tough to pick up those numerals. When are you coaches going to develop jerseys?
It's getting a little dirty on the white team out there. Here's first downs. UE with 10, ICU with 5.